Counting down to India's annual budget, middle-class professionals are hoping for tax incentives to make life easier.
But SMEs want tax cuts to boost spending, and analysts say more infrastructure spending is needed. Now, here's Ishan Garg on what Indians hope might be on the table when the budget's tabled in Parliament tomorrow.
Bhavesh Brahmadatt's family is your typical Indian middle-class family. An IT engineer, he and his wife are both salaried professionals with a child and aging parents to support. But rising inflation is making life more difficult.
पेरेंट्स है, पेरेंट्स की देखभाल करने के लिए भी पेरेंट्स के लिए भी ज़रूरी है पैसा, खुद का घर लेंगे तो ये सब चीज़ के लिए पैसे ही ज़रूरी है, तो ये सब चीज़ करने के लिए सेविंग करना ज़रूरी है। तो सेविंग कब होगा, जब थोड़ी सरकार के एंड से भी राहत मिलेगी तो ज़्यादा बेनिफिट रहेगा हर चीज़ में।
Despite being a double-income household, Brahmadatt says the cost of living in Mumbai is becoming unsustainable. Like many middle-class professionals, he wants the upcoming government budget to include a reduction in personal income tax. He's also hoping for lower goods and services tax on medical insurance, which currently stands at 18%. This would help bring down the cost of his parents' medical care. The government says it is considering a reduction in some tax rates, but it's not just your average middle-class Indian professionals who are looking for tax incentives. Many businesses, small and medium operations like these, are also asking the government to reconsider GST rates. They say high taxes are being passed on to consumers, which in turn is leading to lower consumer spending. India's consumer spending last year grew by 3.5% from 2023 as per government data. It's the slowest rate of increase since 2021 when spending was up more than 18% according to World Bank figures. It's why businesses like Pradeep Bhumarat's company are struggling. Sales at his floor tile and sanitary ware store have hardly recovered since the COVID-19 pandemic. His profit margins are down by 15%. Bhumarat wants the government to reduce GST rates from 18 to 15% on non-luxury goods and from 28% to 20% on luxury goods, which will allow him to offer more attractive prices, he says. Easier access to funding would also go a long way.
The easy business loan मिले, उसके जो पेपरी कार्रवाई है वो कम से कम हो और लोग आराम से अपना सारा काम कर पाए, क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से उस तरह की सहूलियतें नहीं है, जैसी होनी चाहिए वैसी नहीं है। और वनस्पत बड़े जो बिजनेसमैन हैं उनको बहुत ज़्यादा सहूलियतें मिली हुई है और वो अपना बिजनेस एक्सपांड कर रहे हैं।
The people of India are looking ahead.
In the interim budget last year, India's Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced a slew of new measures, including government funding and technology support for micro, medium and small businesses. But many traders and retailers say those measures mainly helped the manufacturing sector. Experts argue that the annual budget can better support small businesses and India's stressed middle class by investing more in infrastructure.
When you create an infrastructure, if you make roads and corridors, logistic cost comes down. Efficiency of the supply chain goes up. So there's only one item I know of which can give you growth at the same time reduce inflation, and that's what I think the government is doing. So I would want them to continue the thrust on infrastructure.
Budget 2025 is expected to set the tone for the government's spending priorities for Prime Minister Modi's third tenure. But for millions of Indians, it's about how it can make their lives more livable and their livelihoods more sustainable. Ishan, Garg, CNA, New Delhi.